All right, so welcome everyone to this Raising Our Vibration meditation for Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, or Sunday the 3rd, if you're on the other side of our planet. I want to thank Enlightened World Network for hosting us on their wonderful platform. Thank you to all who have joined us live on Zoom, also to those who are watching on either the Raising Our Vibration Facebook page or the Enlightened World page. So welcome. Today, we're going to do a practice that's based on information in this book called The Way, which is by Michael Berg, who is the head of Kabbalah Center. And the subtitle of this book is Using the Wisdom of Kabbalah for Spiritual Transformation and Fulfillment. So I'm going to read just a brief idea that's going to be the center of our practice today, and then a wonderful story, which I think will really be memorable. It's such a poignant story before we get into our meditation practice. So a very brief summary of the way is in this statement on page 227 of the way. And Michael says, the purpose of our life is to complete a profound spiritual transformation. By transforming the desire to receive for ourselves alone into the desire to receive in order to share with others. So spiritual transformation means to become a being of sharing. To become a being of sharing. And there's just a wonderful story called The Envelopes Slipped Under the Doors, which is a great expression of that principle. So this is on page 232 of the book, and I'm going to read through this whole story. A traveler was passing on the outskirts of a town when he noticed a newly dug grave in the middle of an open field. At the head of the grave, there was a simple marker made of wood. It read, "Here lies Yosula." That's strange, thought the traveler. Why has this man been buried out here in the fields? Why wasn't he given a decent burial in the cemetery? When the traveler entered the town a short time later, he sought out the local rabbi and inquired about the lonely grave he'd seen. How did such a thing come to be? He asked the rabbi. Why wasn't this Yosula buried in the cemetery with everyone else? The rabbi shook his head and shrugged. Truthfully, he was lucky to be buried at all. Actually, I put him in the ground all by myself. No one would bury him, let alone mourn for him. You see, Yosula was the stingiest person who ever lived. Even when he knew he was about to pass on, and our burial society asked him to pay the fee for his funeral, he simply refused. Can you imagine that? Yosula had only a few days to live, and he couldn't stand to part with the money to pay for his own funeral. That's amazing, said the traveler. So you buried him yourself? Yes, said the rabbi. Well, you did a noble thing, then, if this Yosula didn't deserve it. The rabbi bowed his head, and just at that moment, there was a knock on the front door. Excuse me, said the rabbi to the traveler. He opened the door, and there stood what was obviously a very poor man. He was dressed in rags, but that was not the worst of it. He looked extremely worried. What can I do for you? Asked the rabbi. The poor man sounded desperate. I just need a little money in order to buy something to eat. The rabbi nodded and took some money from his pocket for the man. Then he closed the door and returned his attention to the traveler. But just as they were resuming their conversation, there was another knock on the door. Excusing himself once again, the rabbi opened the door and found himself confronted by a second impoverished man. What can I do for you? Asked the rabbi. Please, said the man, I need some money for food. Reaching into his pocket again, the rabbi gave the man some money and shut the door. Then he turned back to the traveler, and they picked up their talk where it had left off. But just then there was yet a third knock on the door. And when the rabbi opened it, another poor man stood before him. What's more, as he looked over this man's shoulder, the rabbi could see even more poor people making their way toward the house. There was a whole crowd of them. What's going on here? Said the rabbi. I never even knew there were this many impoverished people in the whole town. He looked at the man in the doorway. How has this happened? Where have you all been hiding? And why are you so suddenly coming to me now? The poor man replied with a note of desperation in his voice. No one needed help until now. For years, there was someone who took care of all the poor people in the area. Somehow, between midnight and dawn, every Wednesday, an envelope with enough money for the week would appear under the doors of our homes. But now Wednesday has come and gone, and there have been no envelopes. What are we going to do? As the rabbi searched his home for enough money to distribute to the many people outside, he wondered aloud to the traveler about an explanation for this mystery. But the traveler was indeed a traveler in the deepest sense of the term. He was a man of the world. As the rabbi continued to pass out coins, the traveler spoke up. By the way, when was it exactly that Yosela died? It was last Thursday, said the rabbi. And today is Thursday again, said the traveler. So the end of the envelopes corresponds with the death of the miser. Now both the rabbi and the poor people gathered at the door looked at the traveler in disbelief. You're not suggesting that Yosela was the one who was giving away the money, are you? Well, said the traveler, I don't see what other explanation there could be. This is not a village where a lot of people come and go. No one else has passed on. It must be him. The rabbi's eyes widened, first in amazement and then in realization of the truth. Yosela had been a miser, but a holy miser. Everyone had been wrong about him, and that was the way he had wanted it. He had kept the truth to himself with the same determination that he'd seemed to use in holding on to his money. That very day, the rabbi saw to it that the town's whole population gathered to mourn Yosela's passing and to pray for his forgiveness. They stood together, all the people who had thought Yosela was beneath their contempt and who now looked up to him as a truly righteous person. The more so since he had kept his virtue a secret. But then yet another completely unexpected event took place. As the rabbi was eulogizing Yosela as the holy miser, he suddenly felt himself losing touch with the physical world. Yet it wasn't as if he was sick or dying, or even just losing consciousness. Instead, it was like a state of heightened awareness. The rabbi was having a vision. He was standing alone with Yosela somewhere high above the earth. Yosela, he said, I'm so sorry about the way you were treated when you were alive. We just didn't know. Of course not, said Yosela kindly. I didn't want you to know. It wasn't for the purpose of obtaining anything, and certainly not recognition. It was for giving, not getting. But still, said the rabbi, it must be very gratifying for you now in the celestial realms. There, I'm certain you consort with the great patriarchs and matriarchs, with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and David, with Sarah, Leah, and Rachel, and Rebecca. The very mention of these sacred names sent a chill down the rabbi's back, but he was surprised to see a somewhat distant look on the face of Yosela. Isn't being in the presence of those great souls the supreme achievement of creation? The rabbi asked. Isn't it the most a soul can ever hope to attain? Yes, it's very wonderful, agreed Yosela, but, said the rabbi expectantly, but? And now Yosela spoke with sudden conviction, but nothing, not even being in the presence of the Creator, can compare with slipping those envelopes under the doors on Wednesday nights. Beautiful story. As you just sit with that story, we're going to move into a practice about becoming a being of sharing. And as you contemplate that story and as you begin to enter this practice, just consider something that's really important to you, something important in your heart, and something that you'd like to share with the world. What would you like the world to have more of? What is the gifts that you've been given that you'd like to share? And we're going to use that as the basis for our practice today. All right. So we'll move through our usual preliminary cues, our posture cues, our cues to settle into present embodied awareness. And then we're going to center into our hearts, and we'll use that idea about becoming a sharing person and what we are, a being of sharing, and what we want to share as the springboard into our deeper practice. All right. So let's sit comfortably upright. Have your feet firmly on the ground if that is comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can sit any way that's upright, that's comfortable. Have your hands cupped in your lap with thumbs touching lightly. And lightly close your eyes. Just take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take a moment to settle in your seat and be present in your body. And just notice whatever is present in awareness. So you may have thoughts or feelings about that story. You may feel sensations in your body. You may hear sounds in your environment. And you're allowing all of this to be just as it is. Allowing yourself to be just as you are. Notice how your body begins to relax as you allow yourself to be natural, effortless, present, aware. And feel out into the space all around you as a sacred space that embraces you. And feel the group space of all of us gathered here together. As we tune in, we can feel the group presence. And from experience, we know this amplifies and deepens our practice. As we sit here together, consider that the effect of this practice extends beyond our group to all our loved ones, to everyone we interact with, and to all beings, our whole planet, and throughout our collective consciousness and all that is. We are part of a greater whole. And our state of consciousness contributes to the whole. So as we begin our practice here together, let's dedicate it to the benefit of all beings. That we all might come to a deeper felt sense of our oneness with each other, with all of life, and the source of life. And in that felt sense of oneness, we naturally become beings of sharing. Now let's begin to move deeper into our practice by focusing down into feeling the sensations of contact of the soles of your feet on the ground. Awaken sensory awareness here in your feet and your toes, and allow them to soften and relax as if they are melting deep down into the earth. Feel deep down into the consciousness of the earth. And thank the earth for grounding, supporting, providing everything we need. The earth is truly a being of sharing. And we're thankful to our earth. Allow that feeling of connection with the earth to flow up through the soles of your feet, up through your shins and calves, up through your knees and thighs, into your hips and pelvic bowl, resting down in your seat. Feel the weight of your body resting down in your seat, resting down on the earth. You are fully present here now in this body on this earth. And focus into your palms and fingers resting cupped in your lap. Awaken sensory awareness here in your hands. And allow your hands to soften, open, and relax, as if they are melting down into your legs. Feel the soft openness in your hands, connected with the soft openness of your heart. Feel the warm embrace of your hands and heart. As you allow your hands to soften and relax even more, allow your arms and shoulders to relax down, releasing any tension in your shoulders, your neck, and your head. Imagine and feel as if a string is attached to the top of your head, drawing your spine gently upright, like a string of luminous pearls. Feel your spine gently stretched from your perineum and tailbone right up through the top of your head, like a stream of light flowing upwards, flowing up through your spine, up through the center of your brain, and through the top of your head, opening to the vast, clear sky above. Feel the vast openness of the sky. Opening your mind. Smile in gratitude to the sky for clarity, openness, expansive awareness. Now tuck your chin just slightly, gently lengthening the back of your neck. Lightly close your lips and breathe in and out through your nose. Nasal breathing warms and purifies the air you breathe in. It increases oxygenation, and it's calming to your nervous system. Breathe in the energy of life. As you continue nasal breathing, rest your tongue up on the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue touching the gum line behind your upper front teeth. Soften and relax your tongue here. Softening your tongue is another calming cue that sends a relaxation signal to the vagus nerve in the center of your brain. So as you soften and relax your tongue even more, feel that relaxed aliveness in the tip of your tongue. Feel it traveling back along your tongue into the center of your brain, lighting up the center of your brain. With a live presence. Now feel that relaxed, alive presence flowing down through your vagus nerve, flowing down through your neck, flowing down through your heart, relaxing, releasing any tension around your heart. Softening, opening, warming your heart. Feel that relaxed aliveness flowing down into your lower abdomen. Breathe deeply into your lower abdomen. Feeling that relaxed, alive presence flowing in through your breath and flowing out through your whole torso, head, arms, and legs. Feel your body as a whole from the inside. The entire space inside and including your skin. Fully alive, present, aware. As you enjoy that feeling in your whole body, smile. A subtle smile of calm happiness. A smile of appreciation and gratitude for this time to tune in to this one life we all share. Feel our oneness with each other, all of life and the source of life. And to transform our consciousness to become beings of sharing. Receiving for the purpose of sharing with all. We are inseparably one. Feel now deep into your heart. Feel that oneness with each other, with all of life, and the source of life in your heart. And as you tune into your heart, tune into something that's important to you, something you want to share, something you want to grow in the world. Something you've been given, something you are, something you value that you like to share. Feel into that. Now feel from your heart outward in all directions into the vast sphere of your life. Feel your life as an emanation of your heart. Feel out from your heart to include everything, everywhere, everyone, all at once. Imagine and feel yourself sharing what is important to you to share freely. In any ways you feel inspired, from the tiniest gesture to larger projects. Feel what it's like to share that. Notice how it feels to share that with the world. Feel that shining forth from your heart in all directions. Now ask yourself, what is it that inhibits me from doing that? Perhaps there's beliefs, habits, ideas about what's real and possible. What is it that inhibits that flow of what you want to share? Just notice, not in a way of judgment, but in a way of clarity and insight. Just noticing what inhibits that flow. Maybe there's certain ideas about who you are, who you're not. Just notice. Is there anything you're holding on to that inhibits that flow, that sharing? You're not the only one. We all hold on in so many different ways to our ideas about limitation, about who we are or who we're not. And now, just for a moment, what if you allowed all those limiting ideas, those beliefs you're holding on to, beliefs about yourself, or about the world or others or life. But if just for a few moments you allowed all of that to dissolve, just letting go completely. Take a deep breath into your heart. exhale, letting all that dissolve. Now just rest in your heart. There's nothing you need to do. Just feel the warm openness of your heart. And if you feel any restriction in or around your heart, that's okay. We all have that too. Let's breathe into that. Letting go, letting go. Now feel from your heart outward infinitely in all directions. As far as you can imagine. And beyond that. And beyond that. Feel out beyond all of life. Rest as that within which the whole field of life arises. The formless source of all. Rest as that. That transparent background without beginning or end. Boundless source of all. Beyond description. Beyond space and time. Let go and rest as that. Simply being. Here, now. Timeless. Changeless. vast openness. All embracing. Now feel the whole field of life arising from that vast openness. Inseparably one. Feel the center of your heart as the center of that vastness. Feel the space of your body as an open space of experience. Centered in your heart. Knowing and feeling oneness. Sharing is just natural. And each of us, as rays of that one light, expressions of that one light, have different gifts to share. And it's natural to let them flow through. Let life orchestrate that sharing. It's really not about you doing, about you being in open space. Through which that sharing happens. It's a natural expression of our interconnection. When we know we are one, sharing is natural, effortless, and it feels good. Tune into your heart and this open space of your body. Feel the openness all around you. Perhaps there really is no inside and no outside. This one life. sharing with itself a flow of love. Very slowly begin to open your eyes and take in these other expressions of light. Feel the presence of our group. Feel the life all around, centered in your heart. And thank you for your practice. So as you continue to feel the effect of that and rest in that, if anyone would like to share about your experience, either in the chat or out loud, welcome that. Nick.
I forgot how powerful your live sessions are. I'm sweating over here.
A lot of energy, huh?
Yeah, well, so I do your meditations at least twice a day for grounding and then during a walk. And yeah, this is a different level. And so I'm just so grateful for all your teachings.
Oh, thank you, Nick. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So glad to have you join us. Thanks for sharing. Monica.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. Thank you, Kevin. Great to see everybody. It was beautiful, amazing, and the story was just so heartwarming.
Yeah, I almost cried telling it.
Amazing. It was just beautiful. And the words that came to me, like what I want to share, I guess just keep sharing like love, kindness, and compassion is really important to me. And it wasn't so much like a specific thing or work or just like the level of like a level of compassion that is now where somebody really feels seen and heard and understood. Yeah, that just feels like what came to me. So
Nice.
yeah, I loved it. Thank you so much.
Nice. Thanks, Monica. You're very good at that.
Yeah, thank you.
Abby.
Oops. Thank you, Kevin. It was very profound practice. And at the beginning, I was just thinking in my intellect that the statement that we need to receive in order to share with the others, it sounds very simple, but I think it's key and it's very difficult to obtain because we are humans. And so that's what I like about this kind of practices, because they approach the real problems that we have to just letting go. The ego doesn't let us. So I think it was a nice way to approach it, and we have to take all the thoughts in our heads and just place the experience in the heart and hope that something will open there. Because if we just keep it on here, because it sounds great, no? The secret is to just have a desire to receive in order to share. That sounds beautiful, but it's hard to do.
Yes, as Michael says in this book, it is our lifelong practice. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Abby. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, that was really beautiful as usual, Kevin. With the story on the front end of the session, it certainly as you move through the meditation, it certainly and I really do believe that we're here for the purpose that you were bringing forward here. And I guess the stage of life I'm at, I see where humanity is, and I just kind of shake my head and know, what is the individual to do? What is it for the individual to do when you live in a world with so much turmoil and so much? And I just shake my head at this stage of the game and I think, oh man, you'd think we'd catch on after a while as a human race. Oh my God. Anyways, I think it really comes down to, like Abby had said there about the individual. We're here to experience this reality and to move through it with that mindset that he mentioned. Yeah, I really agree with you, Abby. Very good. So thank you ever so much, Kevin. It was beautiful.
Thank you, Bill. And yeah, I mean, I think every little thing we do that comes from that heart with that intention makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Thank you, Bill. Anne, I think you had your hand raised, but you took it down. But you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Abby said and what Bill said, but I had a wonderful gift in itself just through the meditation in when I was thinking about the things that the limitations to sharing the gift, and nothing new in it. I'm not good enough. My reticence, my struggle with, just being a very born introvert, really, in many ways.
With you.
And well, I haven't overcome it through this technology thing. I'm still struggling with all that. But anyway, all of that aside, I took notes at that point, and you said, drop that, and I imagined dropping it, and I just heard this voice saying, "You're already there. You're already that." And I thought, oh, that's lovely, and you have to just keep reminding yourself you are already that. You've already got all that power and that strength, and you're already being led into it, and as some of you know, I'm really into animals and healing animals with Reiki, and I don't know if it's a particular gift, but it's a passion that I'm following. But what I got was slightly different when you asked what it is that you really want to share. And what I really want to share through it is, and why I do the writing, is to share my journey of expanded consciousness and the importance for all of us to start to understand how big we really are, not how small we really are. And I think that's really what the driving force behind my wanting to be a healer and to do the sharing of the stories of the animal stuff is that journey, because I started from a very academic life and a very left brain life, and as some of you would know, it's a struggle every step of the way. But just that's what I want to share through my stories, through my healing, is that there is so much more. So it was great, and it really did. When I got that message, you were already there. It brought tears of joy to me. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I do have something I'd like to ask you, but I don't want to put this in the public space, so maybe by text afterwards.
Okay.
a thought came to my mind, and I'd love your input on it.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Please do. Yeah. And I also want to let everyone know about Anne Winning. That's Anne's full name on Substack. She writes a wonderful series of articles on her healing experiences with animals and Reiki. So, yes. So keep sharing those. Thank you.
Are you still getting them? Do they still arrive?
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a few weeks.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
did
why.
I put one up the other day.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
might
I'll
have to check.
Yeah. So I'll check on Substack. Yeah. Great. Karen.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And Anne, I loved what you said. I'm an empath, and but I'm really super shy, so it's hard for me to talk about it. But during the meditation, something came to me that I do on a weekly basis, and I guess I didn't think much about it, but in the meditation, it came up. And it showed me that there are certain times when I drop all the barriers and I'm just connecting with people. And a lot of times it's strangers. I have a dear friend who came down with dementia. And so weekly I walk him to a park and we sit on a bench and I read to him. But while we're doing that, people will come by, walk by, and they inevitably stop and talk to us. And it's the most joyous exchange of information with people. And it does him so good, to be able to. I see the joy in his face when people talk to him, and they have their dogs, and I just love dogs, and we pet their dogs, and so my joy comes from taking this opportunity to connect with others and see the joy that they have just in simple acts of kindness. It's a beautiful thing. And I too feel like I have healing hands, and I often work on dogs because they're very open, and it gives me a lot of pleasure. And I just wanted to share that. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful way to end that beautiful sharing. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your practice. We do these raising our vibration meditations on Enlightened World Network on the first and third weekends of each month. And then we also have our ROV meditation book club sessions on Thursday evenings. And all of these are free for anyone to join in. Please join in. You can find the links on the Raising Our Vibration community Facebook page. All right. So thanks again to Enlightened World Network. Thank you all for joining live. Lots of love to everyone. And take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good to see you all.
Good to see you.